Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Tree Lee. It's the last day of January. It's the 31st day of January. And for all of you who know, I have thawed out. Later on in the show, we're going to talk about the polar bear plunge that took place at the Troy Parks and Rec Department this past Saturday morning. There was a plunge. About 9 o'clock, it took 3 waves. Over 75 participants participated for a great cause for the Troy Pike Habitat for Humanity program we have here in Troy. We're also going to talk about the National Archery in Schools Archery program that we have here in Alabama, kind of how that started. And we'll talk about the regional events. We have several local schools that will be competing here at the Sportsplex here in March. We're also going to feature some of last week's Zion Chapel basketball team that features Coach O'Neill and Coach Lee. And then we're going to have a little segment on here of a past recording of Kathy Stockstill, Lenny Trawick, and Bob Perdue as they performed at the Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama. But as an announcement, on February the 14th, for all of you out there at Whaley Pecans, they have a gift shop that you can go in there and you can select all kind of nice gifts. They have syrup, they have soap, they have all kind of pecan goodies that you can get $1 bag, a $2 bag. They have flavored popcorn. They got all kind of gifts that for your sweetheart, that's one of the things that you can get is a gift bag from Whaley Pecans. Go see Mr. Bob, Miss Mary, or Melissa, or Marcia. They got a great staff that works with them out there. But that's a great way to spend to get your Valentine's Day items. But on Monday night, the Troy University Long School of Music Vocal Ensemble, Frequencies, the name of the ensemble, is directed by a Troy native, Scott Sexton. He's the son of Lydia and Raymond Sexton. Of course, Raymond hails from the great town of Glenwood, Alabama, inside of Crenshaw County. But Scott Sexton will direct the ensemble Frequency. Valentine's Day, it's on a Monday night, February the 14th, from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. It's in the studio downtown across from the Johnson Center. It's on 301 East Walnut Street. They'll have love songs for your Valentine. The admission is free. The experience is priceless. It's presented by the Alabama State Council for the Arts and the Johnson Center for the Arts. There's a special thanks. This concert is made possible by grant funding from this organization, which promotes the arts throughout the great state of Alabama, the Alabama State Council for the Arts and the Johnson Center for the Arts. Frequency is an auditioned select vocal jazz ensemble devoted to the performance of contemporary a cappella choral pieces with an emphasis on highly styled and advanced vocal jazz. So on February the 14th from 6 till 7:15 at the studio on Valentine's Day, Frequency will be directed by our own Troy native, Scott Sexton. A couple of other notes I want to mention. I know local basketball is wrapping up the regular season this week. Charles Henderson will host Luverne tomorrow night, and then on Friday night they'll host Pike County High School. So I know the Charles Henderson boys are ranked in the top 5. The girls are ranked in the top 10. So that's some good basketball that you'll see. Pike Liberal Arts is playing at Atauga Academy tonight, both the boys and girls. And we'll know more about that score later on. But this week wraps up the regular season. The next week we'll start area play for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. For the Alabama Independent School Association, they're going straight to the tournament that will be held in Huntington. I think it'll be held at the arena, the multiplex there at Crampton Bow is where the final eight and all that will be taking place for AISA. And they don't know who their opponents are just yet. So support your local basketball teams. Want to do a brief mention of our sponsors. Want to first of all start with Troy Paint and Body. Their owners are Dawn and Derek Broadway. Their dad was a good friend of mine, Donnie, who passed away a few years ago. But they are located on South Brundage Street. Their number is 670-9699. This time of year, there's a lot of collisions as it relates to the deer, the four-legged deer. I had to dodge one just the other night. Chimney Hot Sauces. Go to www.chimneysauce.com. They have ghost pepper, rock, and jalapeno flavors. Here's what the bottle looks like. A good friend of mine, Ryan Darty, he is the owner of that. You can go to www.chimneysauce.com. A lot of their products are sold around the Lake Martin area on the shelves, but we don't have that in Troy, but you can order it online. The Pike Farmers Co-op, located in Goshen and Troy, Alabama. Danny Drull is the manager, and Jeffrey Barron is the assistant manager here in Troy. Danny is in Goshen. Years ago, I used to work at the co-op as a young fella under Mike Porkchop Thomas. Worked there for a couple of years. And after I graduated high school, I worked there during the fall up until January when school started, when I started Troy University in January of 1978. Happy birthday to Jason Gregory. Jason is the owner of Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy. You can get in touch with them on the bypass. Their number is 403-4646. Go by and see them. Nobody can beat their deal. Nobody. Golden Boy. Golden Boy is located on the Henderson Highway. They've gone through a big expansion. They bottle a lot of this peanut butter for companies throughout the world. And Peter Pan's one of the companies that they process and make the peanut butter and put it in these containers. And then what I do, when I finish a container of peanut butter, I'll clean it up real good, soap and water, maybe run it through the dishwasher on the top rack, and that's what I store my nails, my drill bits, and all kind of stuff with these plastic bottles. Just save them. Also, Pond Stalker 2, Mr. Jim and Mr. Jet, they have this new device called the Pond Buddy that will fertilize your pond. They have all kind of products. Go see Jim and Jet. Jim's number is 403-2582, and Jet's number is Jet Trotter 672-2314. And the Campbell's Produce, they're closed right now, but they're a sponsor in the summertime. They're located on US 231 South going toward Brunge. I want to thank Miss Diane and Mr. Buck for their sponsorship. Rex and Nell at Kelly Tires for all your tire needs, brakes, mufflers, whatever. Go see Kelly Tires on Love Street. Southern Grill and Patio, located at 600 North 39th Street. It's in the same building as Town and Country. The owners are the Hartleys, Lana and Mr. Hartley. Their sons Chase and Daniel also work there. They have all kind of charcoal grills that you can get. I got one for my birthday, but they also have these steak sauces. You can see it here on the board. They have a 4-pack of United States of America 1948 vintage sauces. These are from natural flavorings, from natural ingredients. They have the Simply Creole. They have the Old Southern Barbecue. They have the Sweet Island. And they have the Bordeaux's Vintage Steak Sauce. But you can get these for about $8 a bottle, or you can get a pack for about $32, a pack of 4. They come in a pack of 2. Also, Mr. Hartley's daddy, he makes homemade steak turning devices that have antlers, deer antlers, as the handles, and it's where you can turn your steaks with it. And they run in the $30 area price. Wallace Pump and Supply, located in US 231 South between Troy and Brundage. Their number is 735-2338 for all your plumbing needs. If you need a hot water heater, sinks, all that kind of stuff, go see Chip and Cotton, the Wallace brothers, at Wallace Pump and Supply. Also, want to thank Mr. Shearqualls and Douglas Brothers. They're celebrating 150 years of doing business here in Troy, Alabama. I think it's the oldest long-existing business or company in this area. I want to thank him for their sponsorship. They're located on the square. Their number is 566-1867. Of course, right down the street from them is Bird Drugs. Mr. Joe Watson, I want to thank him and the Deli Girls. You can call them at 566-0100 if you want to order breakfast, or their pharmacy if you want to get up with them. That's the number. I've already mentioned Whaley Pecans. When I get ready to cook anything with pecans, I go to Whaley Pecans. I use only the best ingredients. Whaley Pecans. See Mr. Bob, Miss Mary, Marcia, or Melissa. They're located right off of South Brundage Street on Pecan Street. Their number is 566-3504. There's great photographers in this area, but one of the best, or the best, is Abby Lee. Abby Lee Photography. You can get up with her at abbyleephotography.co. Go onto that website, and there's an information link about the services that she offers. She does weddings. She does graduation pictures of high school and college. She does baby pictures, all kind of stuff. Lenny Trawick. Lenny gives lessons on the square in downtown Troy at the location of Flat Tops and Fiddles. He normally gives them his lessons on Monday and Tuesdays. And a young lady here in Troy, Kat Deal, she also offers lessons at Flat Tops and Fiddles. Their Flat Tops and Fiddles owner is Mr. Donald Brown. That's where they give their lessons, in the back. Go see Mr. Brown for all your guitar needs, mandolins, banjos. He can get anything you need musically side on the guitar, banjo side of the house. Home Gallery. Home Gallery is located on Love Street, and that's where my wife does all her furniture shopping. I want to thank David and Sherry for their sponsorship. And when you see David Helms, ask him the story of why he and his brothers like olives, Mountain Dews, and Dr. Peppers. Also, want to thank the Brundage Country Club. Donnie Mobley and his staff, their number is 735-3680. They're open on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. The only day that they're not open will be Mondays, and they normally do a lot of maintenance on the course on Mondays. Again, their number is 735-3680. Go to Brundage, hit the red light at Hardy's, take a right, and it's located just right down the road, less than about half a mile on your right, across from the Walmart Distribution Center. Sticky Frogs. They make all the signs for my truck, Miss Jennifer. They're located in Southland Village at building number, or office number K119. Her number is 434-0303. See Jennifer for all your sticker needs, T-shirts, signs in your yard, political signs, all that kind of stuff. State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I've used State Farm all my life. I want to thank Bryant Smith and his staff there, located on South Brundage Street between here and downtown Troy. His number is 566-5433. Piggly Wiggly, Steve and Jennifer Garrett. They have two locations, one on South Brundage Street and North 3 Knott Street, and they have one on the US 231 bypass. Great selection of food, all kind of products, milk, eggs, produce, you name it, they got it. The Chicken Shack of Luverne, Alabama, 335-6566. I want to thank Mike Money and his brother for their sponsorship. Also, Flowers Realty. here's the Hatfield Flowers Realty. I want to thank Billy Ann and Kevin Flowers. They'll put flowers in your yard for all your real estate needs. Call Kevin at 635-2043. Also, I want to thank Signature Hair Designs, Miss Shirley and her staff, Shirley and Casey. You can call them at 566-7311. And Shirley owns Signature Hair Designs. It's located on South Brundage Street. Also, I want to thank Russ and Melanie and Gibson Baker for their sponsorship. Mr. Raymond Ledford, his Style and Barbershop, located on South Brundage Street as well. In Brundage, Alabama, Jackson Hardware for all your painting and hardware needs. Go see them at 111 South Main Street. Their number is 735-2773. The Pizza Palace in downtown Brundage. See Miss Pretty Patel. Her number is 735-9555. They're located on 112 Main Street. You can find her on Facebook. So look up Pizza Palace and see Miss Patel. They've got a great selection of subs, pizza, spaghetti, those kind of things. Meeks Termite. They're located on South Brundage Street. I want to thank Greg Meeks. Their number is 566-1222. Mr. Dan Fraley. Fraley Frames has two locations, one in Troy, Alabama, located on North 3 Street, and they have another one located in Enterprise on Glover Avenue. The number for Troy is 566-6318, and the number in Enterprise is 347-4909. One thing about Dan Fraley I want to mention, years ago, Dad brought home from the VA hospital in Tuskegee, brought home a little small copper-type thing of the Last Supper. Well, I've had it for years and years, and I took it to Dan. He put it in a beautiful gold frame, and he framed it for us, and it's in our kitchen. It's a picture of Jesus and his disciples of the Last Supper, and I want to thank Dan for that beautiful picture. And about last year, I believe it was, Jody grew up in Raleigh, Georgia. My wife grew up in Raleigh, Georgia, which is near Manchester, Warm Springs, and Woodbury. Well, her daddy Herbert had some old wood in the shed. Well, I took that wood and brought it to Dan, and excuse me, Dan made probably 12 to 14 frames, 5x7s and 8x10, some of the most beautiful rustic-looking wood you've ever want to see in your life. It's kind of a greenish white color, and he made those frames. Well, I gave those to Jody and Abby and our side of the family, and gave some frames to Mary Lynn, her sister, and her side of the family. Now they've got some of the family photos in that reconditioned wood or salvaged wood that was in the old shed. So Dan Fraley can do a lot of things. He and his staff. Go see Dan for all your picture frame needs. A couple of things. You can find us on Facebook. This show typically is rerun on Wednesday nights between 9 and 10 o'clock. Find us on Facebook. Go to Troy Productions or Troy Cable Productions, Channel 2. Look up Good News and Interviews. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube in that manner. Again, I want to thank my sponsors for so many things. And I mentioned the Farmers Co-op earlier. I usually get raw peanuts. I get several bags, and I give them as gifts. They have these little small cans of peanuts, honey roasted and butter toffee, and sometimes they're salted pecans that they sell. They said it comes in a can, and I'll give those away from gifts. They have pure honey, some local honey. I love local honey. I buy a lot from Mr. Nick DeAndrea, and I bought some from the Sweet Magnolia Company, Mr. James Tucker. He had some great honey, but he passed away recently. But I love keeping raw honey in the house. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show a segment now of the polar bear plunge that took place in Troy, Alabama. And some things I want to mention about the polar bear plunge. Diana Lee is a board member of the Troy Pike Habitat for Humanity. And they have several fundraisers. But for the last 3 years, they've had a polar bear plunge. This past Saturday, on the 29th, at the Sportsplex, there was a polar bear plunge. About 70 to 80 people plunged. They had 3 waves, and I was in the 3rd wave. I've done it 2 out of 3 years. That morning, it was probably between 35 and 40 degrees. The wind was blowing. The water temperature, they said, was around 42 or 43 degrees. So the first year, I just jumped in. Well, when you jump in, it kind of takes your breath. Well, this year, I decided to just walk in. So I kind of strolled in, ankles, knees, hips, chest, and then I took my hat and my glasses off, and I ducked my head, and it was kind of breathtaking. But then I walked back out. Then I walked to the other pool and warmed up a little bit. But it was a worthy cause. I want to thank the Troy Fire Department for being there, and they had a staff on hand. You had to sign a waiver in case something happened, but they were there to assist anybody in need in case something happened. I want to thank Dan Smith and his staff for allowing that plunge to take place. I want to thank the participants who participated, and it was a $25 fee to plunge, and that goes to a worthy cause, and they help assist the needy in building homes. There's an application for that to happen. You just get up with Diana Lee at the bank, or you go to the Troy Pike Habitat for Humanity website, look up that information about all of that. Had several sponsorships. I want to thank all the sponsors on behalf of the Troy Pike Habitat for Humanity and Miss Diana Lee. Miss Jane Treadwell, the Troy Messenger, she's coming out with an article, I think, in a few days about the polar bear plunge. And then now we're going to show you some segments of that. Nate Braisted's in our studio, and we're about to show that. So you won't see me, but you'll see the polar bear plunge.
I'm Ava Jackson here with Troy Cable at Troy City Parks and Recreational Center for the 3rd annual Polar Bear Plunge for the Habitat for Humanity Foundation. So far, they have raised over $5,000, and they're hoping to break their goal this year with over 70 jumpers, including sponsorships from Troy They Can Trust and the students of Troy University.
2 1 and 5/8. 1 jump. Today was our 3rd annual Polar Bear Plunge, and the way it works is that we have a lot of business and corporate sponsors, and then we also have people who want to actually take the plunge and jump into the water. And so everything combines to just be a wonderful fundraiser for Troy Pike Habitat.
And I see a bunch of Troy University students here, so what does that mean to Pike County as a whole, that Troy students are coming out with their organizations?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful combination. We get a lot of the sponsorships from the businesses and communities in Pike County, especially in Troy, but most of our plungers are actually college students. So I think it is a wonderful thing for them to want to give back to do that.
And what other activities did you guys have? I see you guys have coffee, little goodie bags.
Right. We have the registration table, and then we have a coffee bar. We also have goodie bags, and we have t-shirts.
So I see a bunch of students and plungers ran into, is that pool heated?
Yes, usually after they take the plunge in the outdoor pool, They go immediately to the indoor pool, which is heated. We also have heated towels for them as well.
And what safety features do you guys have out here?
Yeah, paramedics. And everybody, of course, has to sign a waiver form, but it's all in good fun. You don't stay in the cold water very long, and it's just all for a very good cause.
They had over 70 jumpers today, and they have just announced that they have raised almost $11,000 for Habitat for Humanity. They have sponsors like Troy City Bank and Trust, and a bunch of Troy students came out today to help support their local Pike County. If you would like to get more information on the event for next year, if you're planning on getting in the freezing water, you can contact Troy Pike Habitat for Humanity. I'm Ava Jackson, and thank you for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with good news and interviews with Forrest Lee. I want to thank Miss Ava Jackson for being there and Troy Cable for being there at the Polar Bear Plunge. But Diana Lee and Dan Smith, Troy is so lucky to have those two stewards, citizens, public servants here in Troy, Alabama. I cannot tip my hat enough to those two individuals. In our gift bag, I selected the bag of socks. Well, it's footies, so I gave those to Abby and Jody. But they had these, what do you call them, the hot ball, fireballs that you put in your mouth. They had those. They had little warm pockets that you put your hands in. They had some chocolate, hot chocolate that you could make. I think Village Coffee was there with their coffee. If you wanted some coffee, they had warm towels. But this is one of the world's smallest bottle, I believe, of Tabasco sauce. It's similar to what you get in MRE if you're in the military, a meal ready to eat. But I got a couple of these in my gift bag. They're 3.7 milliliters, 1/8 fluid ounces. Of course, this company is Flavor Your World. It's out of Louisiana, Avery Island, Louisiana, where they make most of the hot sauce, this kind of stuff, in the great state of Louisiana. Of course, we have one here. One of our sponsors is Chimney Hot Sauces. They're located near Lake Martin area, Auburn, up in there, Stillwaters. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back with a segment on the National Archery in Schools program here in Alabama. And stay tuned to this show, and we'll be back after these messages.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it! But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it! We say yes! Yes! Bring it to Premier Chrysler Jeep Ram in Troy! Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokees. Shop PremierTroy.com during our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
It's a world famous Bring It sale. Yes. Upside down on your vehicle? Bring it. No credit, bad credit? Bring it. To Premier Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Troy. We say yes. Yeah. Pre-owned vehicles just $29 down or $99 a month during our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a Zion Chapel bass fishing hat on that was given to me a month or so ago, and they fished in a tournament this weekend. Pretty chilly, and we're going to have them back on the show and talk about the Zion Chapel bass team. I think they fish pretty much year-round. Another thing I want to mention again, on Monday, February the 14th, on Valentine's Day, the Troy University Long School of Music Vocal Ensemble Frequency, which will be directed by our own Troy native Scott Sexton. They'll be in concert on Valentine's Day, Monday night, February the 14th, from 6 to 7:15 p.m. It'll be in the studio in downtown Troy, right across from the Johnson Center. It's located on 301 East Walnut Street. It'll be love songs for your Valentine. The admission is free. The experience will be priceless. It's presented by the Alabama State Council for the Arts and the Johnson Center for the Arts. I want to thank those sponsors for allowing that to be free, and you'll be in for a treat in that jazz ensemble. Then later on, you probably can take your wife to a nice dinner somewhere in downtown Troy, or out on the bypass, before or after. But anyway, now we're going to show you and talk about a segment of the National Archery in Schools program here in Alabama. And Nathan Braystead, these are some pictures from the Alabama State Championships that you see here. This is where they're kind of scoring. You cannot touch your arrow. That's somebody actually doing the scoring with a scorecard. That's somebody process of pulling their arrows out. There's a certain way they want you to do that. That's a good form there of that particular archer. And I think they have the capability of shooting about probably 120 at one time at the multiplex of downtown Montgomery, located near Garrett Coliseum. Not Garrett Coliseum, but Crampton Bow. That's a good grouping of arrows there. And that's a pretty good form there of a young man. A good follow-through there. Another good form. I like his fingers. He's actually not gripping the bow. The pressure of pulling it back holds that bow in his hand. There you go. We're going to show these pictures up close. Throughout the country, everyone shoots the same bow and arrow specs. The bows are made by McPherson. It's a Genesis bow, and that's the first time in the Bible that you see the word archer is in the book of Genesis. The arrows are Easton arrows. This is a scorecard. The highest score that someone can make is a 300. And we'll talk about the scoring here in just a minute. See those two archers? They're shooting different color arrows at the same target. One shooting on green, one shooting blue, so you can keep up with what arrow that you're shooting. It's called a bullseye tournament. And this person puts his thumb behind his ear. Some people do the thumb inside. And there's 2 or 3 ways to release, but that's a good form there. And that's a follow-through. When he let go, he kind of drew a cat whisker or just lets the arrow go. And that's a good follow-through for that particular person. All right, if we'll hold it there, this particular person, Justin Live Oak, won a total of $2,500 at the state tournament. And I think that has to be designated for either scholarship money to a university or to a technical college. But he won $1,000 as an overall top male. Then as an overall male champion, well, in his age group, he won $1,000. And then overall, for all the boys, he won another $1,500. There's some good money at the national championships. I think first place gets about $15,000, second place about $10,000, third place about $5,000. Of course, the last couple of years with COVID, there's been a little bit of a glitch, so to speak, with the number of participants and all that. But those are some of the. If you see the people there in front on the right-hand side, that's the Alabama Game and Fish Division. That's Marissa Futrall on the right. But the Alabama Game and Fish, the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, they are the entity in Alabama that sponsors this program. So they come and train your teachers or coaches. And they're located in Montgomery. And this state championship is located at the multi-sportsplex there in Montgomery, downtown Montgomery, right next to Crampton Bowl. Great facility. They have a lot of stuff. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Now, the National Archery in Schools program first started in the state of Kentucky in 2002. And the whole design of this program was to improve the archery skill level on a national basis as it relates to international competition. Well, they said, well, let's teach it to our youth. So the state of Kentucky in 2002 implemented this teaching program for public and private and parochial schools. Alabama was the second state in the nation to follow suit. I was teaching hunter education at the time at Charles Henderson Middle School, and all the schools got a flyer about applying to be one of the first 16 schools to be trained. And so I sent the application in. Our principal, David Helms at the time, signed it. I faxed it in, then mailed the hard copy. Well, about 3 or 4 weeks later, found out we were selected to be one of the original pilot schools in Alabama. So I went to a clinic in Montgomery at Asbury United Methodist Church, an Olympic champion by the name of Rod White, and some representatives from Kentucky and the Game and Fish people. We all got certified, and Charles Henderson Middle School was one of 16 schools to get certification. Well, we received about $5,000 worth of archery equipment. And to have an after-school program, you have to teach it in your curricula between 8 and 3 o'clock, at least 10 days to at least one class. Well, we taught it in all our physical education classes, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And so many kids were interested in it, I had to teach it twice during the year. Well, when they had the first state championship was held at the Alabama Wildlife Federation agency right off I-65 North, right at the first Prattville exit. Well, we had it outdoors to begin with, but it rained a little bit, so they moved it indoors. Well, we had 212 participants that particular day. 52 came from Charles Henderson Middle School. And that was kind of neat. So then it kind of grew from there. And it was Charles Henderson Middle School under the direction of Susan Fountain, and she had some helpers, Janet Baker and Buddy Hendricks. They finished second at the Nationals one year. Well, the national championships are held in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, when they were coaching the team, they led Charles Henderson Middle School to a second place finish in the middle school division. Up until that time, Kentucky placed first, second, third elementary, first, second, third middle, first, second, third high school. But now every nation in the country, all 50 states participate in the NASP program. And you saw a picture of the bows. All the bows have the same specs. It can be different colors, and the arrows have to be the same length, and you shoot 10 meters and 15 meters. You shoot 15 arrows from 10 meters, 15 arrows from 15 meters, total 30 arrows, and the highest points you can get is 300. So there's over 400 schools in Alabama that have NASP in their programs. All right, the regionals are coming up at Alma Bryant High School in Mobile. Theirs is coming up in late February. Pell City, located in St. Clair County, theirs is coming up in late February. The next one in Troy, Alabama at the Sportsplex on March 3rd and 4th. Dr. Jennifer Head in Banks Middle School is hosting the tournament at the Sportsplex. The schools right now at the local tournament will be Charles Simpson Middle School, Highland Middle School. In the middle school division, you have Houston Academy. I think they have a high school team. They have Troy Elementary will be competing. Pike Liberal Arts Elementary will be competing, and Highland Elementary School. You have 4th and 5th graders compete against each other. 6th, 7th, and 8th graders compete against each other in the middle school division. And then you have high school 9 through 12. Other regionals, Buckhorn in Madison County at New Market, Alabama. Early March, Eccles Middle School in Tuscaloosa at Northport. About the second week in March, Albertville High School in Marshall County in Albertville, Alabama, second week in March. Prattville High School in Autauga County, the third week in March. And Coleman County Regional will be hosted by West Point High School in Coleman, Alabama, in Coleman County. So there's 8 regionals. And how that works, once all the regionals are selected and scored, then they take the top schools and invite them to the state championships, which will be held the first week in April at the Sportsplex near Crampton Bow. So you have to see if you get a high enough score to be invited. But that is a great program. There will be more schools entering this regional here in Troy, Alabama. So mark your calendar. It's Thursday, the 3rd of March, and Friday, the 4th of March, here at the Sportsplex here in Troy, Alabama. I think the first arrow goes down range about 9 o'clock. There's a $2 entry fee, and the participants will shoot in the tournament. They'll have a 3D tournament where you can shoot at a deer, turkey, coyote, and all that for a $5 fee for awards and all that. So there's actually 2 tournaments. But that's a little bit about the National Archery in Schools program. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to bring some Zion Chapel basketball highlights from last week, and we'll be back after these messages.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it! But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it! We say yes! Yes! Bring it to Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Troy! Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokees. Shop PremierTroy.com. During our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
It's our world famous Bring It sale. Yes. Upside down on your vehicle? Bring it. No credit, bad credit? Bring it. To Premier Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Troy. We say yes. Pre-owned vehicles just $29 down or $99 a month during our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Big Green Egg. You can find them and other grills at Southern Grill and Patio. This next segment, you'll see Coach Josh O'Neill and Zachary Lee, the head coaches for Zion Chapel basketball. We're going to show you a segment about them at home, and let's enjoy this segment. Zion Chapel basketball. Welcome back to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. We have Bubba Lee, and we have Coach O'Neill, the coaches at Zion Chapel High School. And in the booth, ladies and gentlemen, we have Nate Braystead. He is a graduate of Zion Chapel High School, and his mother, Miss Kim, teaches there. And he's got a little brother, Wes, Chester Cathedral, that goes to school there. And his dad, Richard, is one of the best fellows I ever met. The Braystead family. But we got a highlight of Mr. Brady Cobb, and we're going to show that to you now. Player of the week, not long ago. Brady Cobb, he is a senior, he wears number 5. I'm going to show you those highlights.
It's Caldwell in the high post. Watson comes away with it, has Cobb up. Cobb will go up and gets it home. 2 points. Someone marks out, they have no chance of getting a rebound. Cobb drives baseline, finishes. Gets it to go for 2. Henderson to Coleman. Tipped off by Cobb. All the way again. And 1 for Brady Cobb. Picked off by Chestnut. Passed off to Cobb. Cobb over to Chestnut, back to Cobb. For 3, and it's good. Chestnut back to Cobb. Cobb for 3, and it's good. Here's Watson, guarded by Merrick. Horseman in the corner, hits Cobb underneath. Takes it in for 2. Horseman in the corner. Now Cobb shoots for 3. And gets it.
All right, let's show some of those pictures, Nate, if you can. Show them on the full screen of some of the senior nights and all in the new gym. There's a new gym. There's the aerial view.
Yep.
How many, do we know how many that holds?
880. Yep.
And y'all opened that what day? In January?
December 24.
There's the ribbon cutting. Hold it there. Is that you in a tie right there, Bubba?
Yeah. December 21st was the first one.
That's you back there too, Coach.
Oh, yeah. You see me in the big guy back there, yeah. You can't miss him.
And y'all got a pet band? Do they come to most home games?
They're coming tomorrow night. They usually don't.
Okay.
They usually pick a few games a year. They come out and.
Who is your band director?
Tyler Logan.
Tyler Logan.
Troy alum.
Does a great job.
He was, I want to say, a drum major for the Sound of the South.
All right. Who's the gentleman in the big guy near the, the lady in the red?
The lady in the red is our superintendent, Miss Kelly Cobb.
Okay.
I want to say that is, I can't really tell.
Who's got the scissors?
Brian McLeod, maybe? Is that Mr. Brian?
No, he's beside Mr. Driggers.
Oh, that's what it is, Driggers.
Yeah, Mr. Driggers is in the black suit.
Okay.
He's a graduate of Zion.
I mean, you got, so how many baskets are in that thing?
Six goals.
And they're all
Six
on a
Retractable.
motor, and you just turn the key and they go down, turn the key, they go back up.
All 6.
They're all
Wow.
game goals.
This is us, one of our first practices in the new gym. That's what you're seeing, the B team right here, and then our varsity's on the other end.
And then y'all have another gym that the girls can practice, then y'all can practice this one.
Yeah,
then
we
you rotate.
We kind of alternated, or like today, he went to 4:30, and the girls practice 4:30 to 6.
Okay.
It's great having 2 gyms to get as much.
Do you just keep your girls at school and let them do
Yeah.
homework or do stuff like that? Yeah.
That's from the media, like the media platform where our film guy films from, or Troy Cable, like Nate and them came out, and they came out and filmed the game for us.
I think this is when Nate filmed against Elba.
Yeah.
And then the volleyball standards are embedded in the court, so they
Yes.
just put the poles up.
We
And
have
the volleyball
You
lines
can
are
play.
down.
You can go regular way, or you can go sideways.
So you actually can have 2.
You could technically you could
Games
have
going
2 like summer league games going on in basketball, or 2 volleyball games
Okay.
going on.
And then you have those same standards for your old gym, what we call the old gym.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go. There we go. And who are these?
That's the basketball teams. The top row right there is the B team. The ones in the red is the varsity, and the girls are on the bottom right there.
Now, Coach, do y'all try to dress up on the away games, or how do y'all dress?
Yeah,
I
normally we try to dress up for away area games.
Okay.
And then if it's not an area game, try to just wear something that has a school name on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Presentable and comfortable.
Now, who are these? folks?
These are some of our seniors. 32 is Peyton Booth. Brady Cobb is wearing number 1, but he wears number 5 during the season. Number 10 is Braden Watson, who normally wears number 1. 4 is Zay Adair. Number 2 is Chase Horseman. He wears number 10 for us. And then 25 is Dane Bannon. He normally wears 30.
Is Horseman the guy from
Wisconsin, yeah. He was in basic over the summer. He's joining the guard.
Really?
He just came back from
What's his MOS? Or job skill?
I could not tell you.
Couldn't tell you.
Hey,
There he is.
That's
right
him right there.
That's recent. He grew his hair back out a little bit.
Yeah.
okay.
There's
And
Braden Watson,
right.
Those are his parents.
Yeah.
Dane Bannon, Cole McDaniel.
Now, slow it down, Nate. Now, how tall is that fella?
Cole
About
6'7".
6'7".
Yeah.
Wow.
A little bit shorter on coach right here.
There's Peyton Booth. There's Brady Cobb, and Miss Cobb's our superintendent.
Okay.
And there's Zay Adair. There's Shaw Kirkland.
And you have 8 seniors.
Yes, sir.
And that's my senior girls right there. Number 5 is Maddie Pasnicott. Number 22 is Destiny McWaters. Number 10 is Melanie Deal. And number 13 right there, that's Kayla McAllister.
Okay.
That's Destiny. I was not able to attend senior night. The past week I was quarantined. I had the COVID.
And who is this young lady?
That was Destiny McWaters right there.
Here's Destiny.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's Maddie Pasnicott. And that's Kayla McAllister. And that's Melanie Deal.
And you've got 4
Mm-hmm. Got-
seniors.
Got 4 seniors. 3 of them have never played this first year. Kaylin was my only returning senior. She's the only starter I'm losing as well.
Okay. All right, let's see. Now, what sports does Zion Chapel boys offer? Football?
Football, basketball, baseball, cross country, and
That's it.
I believe that's it. We do have the bass team, but they're not like a.
Right.
Sanctioned.
They're,
Yeah.
they're just, I got you. They have the Zion Chapel stuff, but they're
Yeah.
not
Yes.
a athletic association
not.
sanctioned
Yeah.
team.
Yes.
And what about the girls?
Girls got volleyball, basketball, and softball and cross country.
Okay, and then of course the cheerleaders.
And cheerleaders.
Yes.
You know, have to be in all the administrative stuff with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Well, guys, I want to thank y'all for coming. And tomorrow night, again, Zion Chapel will host 3 games tomorrow. and we're going to play GW Long. Tip-off's at 4:30. How much does it cost to get the gym?
$7, I believe.
$7. And then you have a
You don't
nice
have to
concession.
you don't have to pay 3 times. You just once.
Okay, just one.
Yeah.
One ticket gets you in all 3 games. And most people want to skip the B team game, but our B team's
Yeah, our
one of the
team's
best
really
ones
good.
around.
We're 14-4 on the season. Every game we've lost has been by 5 points or less.
Now, the guys that you brought up, they'll play JV.
They're going to continue to play their JV games until the season's over.
Right.
And once the season's over, unless we have a cancellation or the B team game isn't played.
Elba had to cancel the B team game Friday, so he moved Mason and Slade up to play with the varsity. They played with us over a Thanksgiving tournament as well.
So that's Tuesday night, and then Friday night we will host Kinston.
Yes.
And that probably a pretty good crowd since it's a
county rivalry.
I had to come to that one.
It's gonna be
Never.
good.
I want to see Sumlin play.
I told
his family a little bit.
I told the boys all the time, there's 3 rules of life. If you're gonna die, you're gonna pay taxes, and you cannot lose Kinston. So.
And then we'll close out the regular season. Wicksburg next Thursday night, and then we'll go to Pleasant Home on Friday. And then the following week, will the area tournament start that Monday or Tuesday or that
to be determined? Usually, the way they did it in years past, like either the boys will play that Monday or the girls will play that Monday, and then the following day the boys and girls will play the first round games, and then if you advance, you'll play that Thursday or Friday. We'll have to meet with the other area coaches and kind of get that schedule laid out. We got to send it into the state. I think by the 4th at noon or something like that.
Which we'll know the outcome of our area, where it's hosted and all that by Thursday.
Yeah.
Of next week.
Of this week.
This week.
Yeah, the area plays, all of our area is through playing each other on Thursday. So.
Well, listen, on behalf of Troy Cable and on behalf of Nate Braystead in the booth, I want to thank Coach Bubba Lee, the girls' head basketball coach at Zion Chapel. And I want to thank Josh O'Neill, the head boys basketball coach, for coming. And we got someone in the studio. And who's our studio guest here?
Coach Joey McCrory, my assistant coach.
Yeah, Coach Joey
McCrory.
And go Rebels. Great school, great place to work, great place to go to school. And it's just, I'm so thankful that y'all were able to come and your tight schedule and all. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. And I want to thank these 2 men for coming again, Coach Lee and Coach O'Neill. And good luck tomorrow night.
Sir, thank you very much.
As you
I appreciate it. Thank
take on your opponent. And we'll see you in just a few minutes on Good News and Interviews. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a segment of last week we wanted to show you. I want to thank the girls' head coach, Zach Lee, Bubba Lee, and the men's head basketball coach, Josh O'Neill, for being on the show. Last Friday night, I went to Zion Chapel. They have a beautiful brand new facility there, a gymnasium and other things. They hosted Kinston. The Kinston girls defeated Zion Chapel girls. It was probably within 5 to 8 points. And it was a good battle between Kinston and Zion Chapel boys. But the Zion Chapel boys came out on top to win that game Friday night. This Thursday, Zion Chapel will host Wicksburg. Then on Friday, Zion Chapel will travel to play Pleasant Home to finish out the regular season. Area tournament play will begin for local high schools and the Alabama High School Athletic Association next week. Then I think Pike Liberal Arts will start their playoffs next week as well. The final 8, that'll be in Montgomery. Charles Citizen tomorrow night will host the Luverne Tigers. They'll usually have 3 games. They have a JV boys, varsity girls, and varsity boys. Both the Charles Citizen teams are ranked in the top 10 in the state of Alabama in 5A. And then Charles Citizen will host the Pike County Bulldogs this Friday at Charles Citizen in Betty Wagner Gym on the campus of Charles Citizen High School. Again, on February the 14th, the Troy University Long School of Music We'll have an ensemble called Frequency. It's directed by Troy native Scott Sexton. Monday night between 6 and 7:15. Valentine's night. It'll be love songs for your Valentine. The admission is free. It's hosted and presented by the Alabama State Council for the Arts and the Johnson Center for the Arts. So that's some things coming up. Again, Troy Pike Habitat for Humanity did a great plunge, and we'll see you next week on Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee.